All right, if we could have everybody stand for the pledge. Well,
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Adjustments to the agenda. Yeah.
No.
Okay. Approval of the minutes from our regular meeting on the 26th.
Second.
I have a motion to approve as read in a second. All those in favor? Oh,
Is somebody taking notes? No, watch the video.
we're having that recording so that.
Just kidding.
Yep. Nope, we set it to
Unless you wanna
record.
volunteer.
We figured the easiest way was let it record and go from there. All right, old business, CBE meeting on the 15th. List of items for the meeting. So when we initially got, the paperwork, came to talk to us there 3 meetings ago, I believe, 2 or 3 meetings ago, from the timeline and stuff, what we needed to do was to go and do some, self-assessments. So we could see what we were interested in. So we have a couple options here, or a couple examples here, on what a couple other towns have done. And I know one thing we had kind of looked at, I talked about before, was the possibility of kind of where there was one that talked about doing a lot of work on our town buildings. There was talking about doing some studies to see if they were energy efficient projects, LED lighting upgrades, water heaters, furnaces, interior, exterior lightings. And then also, I don't know, I know at one point our streetlights were being upgraded to LEDs, but I can't remember if they had all gotten done or if they were only partially done. I don't remember.
I want to say they're not all done, but I can't swear to that.
So I think that's just definitely an area that we could use some helping. So I think what we need to do is to try to get a couple of these, or one of these selfie valves done, so we can get it back to her before their meeting on the 15th, so she'll give guidance and things to talk about with any public that come to that meeting and see what their ideas are. Right. That's what I mean. I something makes me think. I know we had done some. I just don't remember if we did them all. I know they were pushing it, and I know our bill is left in the week. So I'm guessing that they were done, but. So I guess if we can just kind of take a peek through that and just if we have some ideas, shoot them with me an email, and I will get the survey filled out and send it back to.
You send it back or just present it when?
I think she wanted it. I believe she wanted it ahead of time, so
Okay.
she could kind of tailor it to what we were looking, some ideas that we were looking for.
Okay.
So we're looking at strategy area B for this.
That's where I thought we had some things that fit.
There's a couple others that.
That's something that-
potentially.
Yeah, and then there may be others too. So I mean, like I said, just kind of take a peek through them and see if there is something there, and just let me know where it is, and we can mark it up and get it back to her so that she has more time to prep before the meeting on the 15th. I know I've heard from a couple people in our surrounding towns that or that are connected to things in our towns that have gotten a contact from her, inviting her to the meeting or the meeting. So it sounds like she is doing, not only social media posts, but she's reaching out to some business owners and other key people in the area. So it sounds like, there should be some people coming, hopefully.
So next steps, Brian, do you want to go through this list and talk about it tonight, or? Well,
You can if you want to.
I'm not suggesting it's an appropriate approach.
I'm happy if you guys wanna just go through it and, shoot me the ones that you would like me to fill in before, say, Thursday. And I'll send them to her Thursday evening. And then I'll just compile whatever you guys send me and check those off and send them to her by Thursday night, and that'll give her a couple days to do her prep before our meeting next week. That works too? Yep, yeah, like I say, so either now or before we leave tonight, if you guys wanna go through those real quick and check them off, we'll, make them happen. Next on the agenda, our GA ordinance public hearing has been rescheduled to the 24th. Next regularly scheduled meeting. So that's just for the updated, state minimums and maximums. C, I'm going to table for a little bit until Trisha gets here and gets her stuff prepped. And with that, I'll probably.
Yeah, we need
D
Trisha
as well.
we need Trisha for D.
Or do we have the updated quote?
Do not,
Okay.
so we
we'll
can
wait
do
until-
the up to if it's available.
We'll wait for Trisha
Yeah.
on C and D. And we will jump into new business. New business, Canton Water District.
On here. Here, you need to readdress this. This is February 5th, the 99-year lease. See, now that deed is all straightened out.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
You have seen it? I haven't
Okay.
seen it.
Cause I haven't seen it yet, so.
And I get that all straightened out, it's recorded. Next step is to have the fee stipulation straightened out.
Is she, I can't talk to me. So her office is gonna look into the FEMA stuff and figure out what is they,
Contact FEMA.
yeah, okay. Cause that was,
We have to have.
yeah,
So what exactly is the plan? Because we've never really been given, all you said was, we wanna put wells in, we've never really heard, we've
We
seen.
discussed it March 14th.
Yeah, right, we did.
We can't present a plan in writing to the town of Canton until we own that lease it. Plan is to drill 2 wells down there. Right?
Okay.
You can stand that
Mhm.
and put a small building. We got chlorine.
Okay.
That is sand.
Mhm. So what about piping, pumping
Piping, you got 900 feet across.
across?
oh,
Yeah. Dave Strauss,
Mhm.
that height across the street.
Yeah. So you'll need approval from the state to cross through with from the shared use trail. Okay. So do you have any of that stuff down on what like in writing on what your plans are, or is this? I'm not trying to be difficult, I kind of want to see more than just give us write a 99-year lease, and then.
You're gonna have full wall wax. They're engineering.
So can we,
He's probably gonna copy it.
can we see it? I'd rather see it before I approve the lease.
We'll give it to you.
Because I would prefer to see that, so we have some time to go through it and read it and.
What
I just wanna know more details,
And actually,
because with doing wells, you're gonna need more than just chlorine. You're gonna end up, most wells in the town of Canton are filled with iron.
had this discussion because Kyle Lewis has already got a well drilled down there that we tested.
Mhm.
And the water needs chlorine. And I believe it's got, I can't tell you right now, because I don't have the paperwork. I'll give you all the paperwork tomorrow.
Mhm. Yeah, I guess,
I'll tell you what.
I was just asking if you have it electronically. If you have it electronically, can you email it to everybody? Can you give me a copy in paper form then too, please?
Yeah, it'll be all, tomorrow, I'll drop it off at your office.
yeah,
Unless Joey's got it right now, you have it? One for me. You guys,
I guess I would prefer it come directly from Water District. And if you can give it to Kathy, she can scan it and send it to us. Just because that way it's easier than shuffling. At least for me, it's easier than shuffling papers.
I'll have their one. Find it all.
Has Diego prepared a design? Are you going to send the design as well? Please, thank you.
Yeah, I guess I just need more specifics before I can do, before I would get full sign.
Bro.
That's a long time for,
And what you do about other
to get a form letter. What do you mean?
people that
They are supposed to be, we mailed them out to all the landowners, because there were a bunch that were, some were done, and the letters were never done, some were, we had records of some, not others, so, what, a year ago? Less than a year.
Some,
In the last year,
Yeah.
Carol and I sat down, went through the map on every town-owned lot who had been approved since we started as selectmen, and sent letters to all of those landowners requesting them to go through, verify that it was correct, and then either send back or bring in the signed copies, so we had them on file.
Yeah, we just updated those forms.
Right. Because we all signed them.
Yeah,
When you sent out, if you guys didn't get some back. that's just not signed.
We'll contact the landowners and get back to them and have them signed. But they were only sent out,
So
it was after Kathy came in when they were sent out, because she's the one that sent them out, so.
not signed, that's-
see, I don't know anything about this.
Yes. I find it
You can have
interesting that
some
they
in
were
mind.
returned not signed.
Just saying, if you have some in mind, can you let us know which ones they are, that way we can get them signed?
It's not up to me to tell you that, it's up to your office help.
Well, as a selectman, if you know something, it would be convenient.
but you're a select board member now and you hold this knowledge and you're not being forthcoming.
It's not up to me to go home, it's ask Kathy,
Well, as a selectman, go ahead and ask her anytime you want.
shouldn't it be done as a board?
You have the authority as a selectman, if there's something that you think isn't right, to either bring it to my attention as chair.
Your attention.
Okay, I'll deal with it. We're done on this agenda item, we'll discuss it at the next meeting.
I didn't realize I had the authority to do something by myself.
You can, anytime you want, if you have questions about paperwork or something, you can definitely ask, hey, why isn't this done?
So I can call MMA when you.
Any selectman is an MMA member. Yeah, all you gotta do is ask.
Because in the MMA class.
In terms of, what, I guess, what are you talking about? 'Cause in terms of like, say, hey, there's a question on, we're looking into this, can we do this, can we not? We've always said the board has the authority to, because in order to call, you have to be on the approved list. And anytime someone's elected, after every election, MMA reaches out to the town, and the town has to provide all the names and contact info of all the new selectmen. So no, we've always allowed, which we can't say no, it's a thing, we have access to MMA legal as our, as a board. Signing correction abatements. Let's see.
No, I just more thinking out loud. Sorry.
The big time issue.
Yeah, but I mean, as far as.
We've been asked to review the assessment of the above named property for 23-24
Oh,
tax
you kidding
year.
me, Michelle? Can you
Yeah,
get rid of that?
Yeah.
and go ahead and read, yep.
For yours.
All right, we've been notified that your homestead exemption was inadvertently applied to your rental property located on 8 Hodge Road instead of being applied to your new home by Ally. Then I am. We have corrected the oversight for the next year and have corrected the issue below for the last tax year. A breakdown of your revised assessment and tax calculations are as followed. Adding in the exemption for homestead at 22,500. Adjust the total, which reduces the tax abatement or changes a tax abatement of 22,500 in valuation for $433.13. So this is about the abatement that we've discussed the last couple meetings.
That's on the two.
Yeah, well, I was saying if you guys wanted to see it before we voted, that's why I was passing it around. Like I say, it's the one that we talked about the last couple meetings, but
So you need a motion.
I will, yeah. Now that we've all taken a look at it, can I get a motion?
I make a motion to approve, the corrected abatement as Brian read it.
$433.13.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Okay. All right, now we have the Region 9 warrant. This is a referendum for, or warrant to call a referendum vote for, Region 9 received, or the state created a bond for CTE schools at one of the last elections, which is a grant for all the schools. However, in order for the schools to actually accept that money and use that money, the towns have to vote to accept the bond. And that, it's all state funded, there's no funding from the local, taxes for that. It's similar to the bond that they received a couple of years ago for, some building improvements or expansions. This is actually an equipment grant, that they're looking at for a bunch of new equipment and things. So they're just looking for our signature on it, so they can go ahead and hold the referendum in November. Get a motion.
Motion to sign Region 9 warrant for grant acceptance.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
I'm sorry.
Oh, actually, no, we got multiples to sign.
Multiples.
Yep, we do.
Of course we do. That's fine. Carol.
So I should have put the page there.
Yeah, you just go around and see what's check on it. Another one?
And more.
Sign your life away.
What happened?
That's true, Towns.
Yeah.
I didn't think about
No,
it
I
that
think
way.
it's just for each posting location in our town, I believe. And then one in regional, I think so.
Whatever,
forget
that.
I undoubtedly will get this fixed up before we're done, but
You got one more coming your way.
Rubber stamp night.
pretty much.
We should all have rubber signature stamps.
That works.
I want one. Yes.
I don't have enough office supply.
I'd rather not. I'd rather sign back in.
If you notice, my
You
signature
can't read
changes every
yours.
time I change it.
I know a little bit about that if you don't know.
Yeah, I know part of it,
Okay.
but I'm happy to let you talk about it when we get to that point. Good with that.
Wrong person.
On to the request to use the boat launch. We have a request for use here for the boat launch, for Boondocks Farm, Backwoods Affair. For food trailer trial 1 to 2 times per week for October, November, from 4 to 7. You know more. than-
That's about, they just want to see. Have a few trial runs to make sure they have the kinks worked out before they start into it, maybe a little more full-fledged next summer.
Are they gonna be selling food at the boat?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be open, they're gonna do a limited menu each time they do it, you know, like 2 or 3 things just to. And then I think they're gonna try to see what moves best, et cetera.
Interesting. They gonna use their own power or are they wanting to use?
That I do not know, don't know anything about that.
Okay. I guess that would be my one question would be. I'm okay with it, but if they're gonna use our power, then it would be another thing that we'd have to think about,
Okay.
Trash too.
but.
Does it kind of require liability?
We ask if they have it to give us a copy of it. And that question was not answered on here.
I'm sure they do, because they've been. I mean, I'm assuming they do.
Yeah, that would be a question, because like I say, it's not. They didn't circle, yes or no, and there's not one, the binder isn't attached, so. Thoughts?
Yeah, I would be concerned, like, the electric trash. And, insurance would be my questions. Other than that, I think it's a great idea. And I hope they do well with lots of advertising.
So. Hold off on signing, because that's gonna put them right out to the end of October, and they've lost this month. So do we sign it, and if they provide it, then go ahead, or? Cause our next meeting is October 24th, and they only want to do October and November, so,
Yeah, because it's gonna get cold.
alright.
Right, we have the trunk or treat in October,
Right.
Right,
um. I don't know, I'd like to see them be able to do it,
Me too.
you know, those would be my only questions.
My thought is we sign it contingent upon the insurance certificate being presented,
Mm-hmm.
and then,
Them bring in a generator or,
I'm trying to think, what,
like, how would we
what
go
did they
about
do
the
for late
electric?
days?
They did a
Usually
generator,
Then
yeah,
I'm assuming then they would have the generator, would be my
I
thought.
imagine it would be.
yeah, yeah, food truck should be self-sustaining.
Somewhere,
Yeah.
cause I know we've used a couple before that have
To plug
plugged
in.
in, yeah.
Yeah, if there's an option to make it contingent on no use of town electricity.
Mhm.
Unless they
Clean
want
up and
Clean up and liability
give us a
insurance.
copy of liability.
Yeah,
Yep, we could do that,
the hours they're gonna operate?
4 to 7.
estimated at 4 to 7.
but no specific days, because those would
Not
be
yet.
weather dependent.
Yeah.
Mhm.
My question is, when we've used food trucks that have used electricity, say at Lake Days and stuff like that, how have we gone about that as a town?
So the only ones that I know we've done it with are ones that we were doing during the bicentennial. So we
Okay.
just lumped it in as part of the.
Part
event
of the,
and,
yep,
Yeah,
costs.
which covered it as part of the event costs thing.
That
Since
makes
then, I don't know that
sense.
the ones that we've done since, they haven't used the town electrical, so.
Yeah, and I do remember they did have a generator for, like,
Smoking.
yeah,
Cause like I say, we used, for the parties leading up to the bicentennial, we didn't have electrical in place, so those couple margarita parties ran off town generators, ran off the fire department generators. And then after we put the electrical in place for the event, we used that for, Alabama barbecue for the street dance, they used it.
mm-hmm,
And we've used it a couple times since, but.
mm-hmm. So, yeah, I'd like to make a motion to approve that contingent upon, yeah, them using their own, a generator to clean up and limited liability insurance, copy of that.
A second.
I have a motion and a second, all those in favor? Okay. What question you answered before we turn it over? Alright. Gears a little bit. And we're gonna go back to old business, and I'm gonna turn it over to Tricia. Welcome. I stopped looking.
Long time no see.
I know.
So, where should I start? Let's, the bank accounts are reconciled. 6/30/24 reconciled, the 9/30/24, so the July, August, September. I've reconciled that there's a variance that is because of an entry from the auditors, and they're fixing that. So I wanted to print some reports. I'm sorry I'm late. I can go print some so that you can have them to review. But the 9/30/24 balance is $1,040,354.49.
354,
49.
and that's the undesignated,
No,
that's
undesignated,
our checkbook balance.
that's your 9/30 balance.
Okay, yep,
So your undesignated
trying to make sure I read it correctly.
Yeah. Oh, we got X amount spent, oh, no, no.
which is kind of close, actually. 1,046,000. Even,
Okay.
okay? And I know that there's some things that he still has to adjust around, but that's still pretty good, because
Mhm.
I can reconcile it. So
Right,
I feel pretty good about that. even
Yep.
though I know there's some tweaks.
it's
Nice.
nice to have bank recs done.
Yes. Yes.
I have relief.
They were like, I was on the phone with them today again,
Mhm.
and said that they were done, and they were like, they are? I'm like, yeah, they're done. So, and then I brought up some questions I had, and then as he looked into things, that 22,000 variance that carries month to month is going to be in our favor, but
Okay.
let's just stick with this overlay amount. 22,000 is not a big deal for tax.
Mhm.
Let's see, so we've got the overlay for tax commitment. You wanted to know an average 3-month expenditures.
Yeah,
So 3 months, if we go up last year, it's 605,000 for a 3-month span.
that's roughly. what I
And
thought
if
was
you want,
6 or
I'll
7.
run a report to check our first 3 months of this year to see how it coincides.
Mhm.
But going forward, we'll have all of that. We can do previous year
Right,
comparison reports and stuff like that, so that'll be really good.
Mhm.
Everyone will be pretty happy. The budget, I started entering that as I was waiting to hear back from the auditors. So that'll be in, so your next, within the week, you'll have reports with the budget in it. So that'll be good. There is some more funds for ARPA than we thought it was in the $36,000 range. There is still 40,765 left.
40,765.
Yes.
did you see the email I forwarded you about logging in?
Mhm.
Did you get in there
I
yet?
don't-
Okay,
This was my
I-
priority,
no, that's,
but I
I'm
know
just-
that has to be done.
it has to be done and spent by the end of December.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My only concern is, when I logged in, it had said that we had missed, apparently no reports have ever been filed for any of the ARPA funds that have been spent.
Yeah.
So my concern was,
But I have,
if we were going to lose any of it,
right,
if we don't get caught up on the reports and stuff. So that was my thought, was just if we can find out where we're at with that and.
that should be pretty easy to communicate with them, because I know other towns are in the same position. And they've been lenient on that, even though you don't wanna push it.
Right,
So now that we're at this point, I'll log in
Mhm.
and I have all the reports
right,
for that.
Mhm.
So it's a matter of uploading it to them.
just getting sent in, yep,
And then they'll see that balance. And we can decide,
if there's enough or not, or.
right,
What was our initial amount, do you know, do you remember?
Yeah. I can tell you.
that's-
I wanna say like 168,
yeah,
I think, but I,
it was more than I think you had thought.
104.
No.
There was no more than that?
Mm-hmm.
115,966.
59.
At least that's what we reported at one of our last meetings.
166.
115,66 is what we reported on October 29th.
115.66 or 115.9?
966, yeah,
966.
115,966 is what,
Numbers.
that's what Mary Ann put in the paper anyways. No, that was, I can pull it up off the state site later, but, that does sound right. Number sounds right, so we'll,
We gave it to you, so it's gotta be right.
Sure. Why not? There are a couple of reports that I would love to show. the
Yep.
board afterwards,
Mhm.
because in Trio, the mapping is incorrect on something, and there's been, entries correct, or balance adjustment entries that have been done. And I have an idea of where it should go, but I'd like to just hear it from the board, and I'll show that. I have a feeling it's something like the road maintenance reserve.
Probably.
But, so that was brought to the auditor's attention, and they're realizing that, and they're working on it. So, the ministerial account,
Mhm.
is there any paperwork that anyone's aware of?
Nope.
So that account, it's not like there's a lot of funds in it.
Right.
But what it looks like is that the towns had funds for the schools for construction projects.
That's what that is.
Yes.
See, none of us have ever even,
The,
You
the
said-
only thing we had found was in an old town report.
Mhm.
yes, way back
And it
when.
mentioned something about paying for ministry services for different things. That's the only thing we've ever been able to find about that account.
So there is some stuff with, in Maine legislature on that. And there's a ministerial slash, school fund is what it actually is. And so you were governing some school construction projects.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The state earmarked it for the towns
Hmm.
to handle for your schools. Most likely. And RHR thought they had the paperwork, and so they're going to see if they have it anywhere, probably in their archives.
Yeah.
Cause it's from, I
Way
think,
back.
2011, I can see on the bank. Just
Oh, it's been there
interest.
forever.
Yeah, it's been there for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's not that it's a lot of money, but usually what happens is that if this is truly what those funds are, then there'd be a town vote to give it to the
Slide it.
school.
Okay,
Yeah. Cause it's
So
not.
can it be used
For
as-
construction.
so it could get given to the school for, say, a capital improvement fund or
Yes.
something.
Yep.
That's interesting.
Can't be used to offset our school.
Can it be used to tear down old school buildings?
That was my question.
Yeah. I mean, there isn't a lot of the funding.
No, it's what?
And I wanna say like 3,000, but maybe I'm
Oh, I thought it
wrong.
was a little bit more than.
Okay,
That much?
is it like 3,000 or is it more than that?
Over 3,000, there's not a lot. I will go. through
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it's not very much in today's world.
I
Yeah.
need to have a computer in here for meetings.
It, yeah, it definitely wouldn't be enough to help tear down.
No. But it gets it off your books.
We can't do them at the same time.
So.
Yeah, yeah, that would be nice to get that cleared up and.
And then- I'll print some reports for you. But besides that.
That's,
Remove it. Oh,
oh, do we know anything about our general government carry forward from last year?
I can print it out.
Okay.
And I can.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. If you wanna go do that,
Yeah.
we'll pick on a different
Get that.
agenda item. Just then we can see either if we can do the, book restoration or not. Cause I've got it, but I would feel better.
I can do it, or,
I don't have what she's looking for, I think. I really want to go through it. Let's see, legal. Other business, just a quick update, just received a letter from the state of Maine IRS. Maine Revenue Division about our property, our proposed property valuation for the town of Canton for, as of April 1, 2023. state valuations have been certified, by the Secretary of State. Blah, blah, blah. If we would like to appeal them, it lists the, procedure on how to do that. The town of Canton's proposed state valuation for next year is 130,900,000. 130,900,000. Which, from what I could find real quick, I believe that is a $5 million increase in valuation from last year. Which sounds really like a lot, so I need to do a little research and find out if the number that I have is correct for last year or not, but I need to reach out to Paul Bennett and see if our taxable property really increased that much, or if that's something that we do need to appeal to the state and have them look it up to see where the possibilities may be of change.
So did they should have been caught up with the towers by now and on the downslide, right?
Yeah, because this
So
is
that-
incorporating, valuations represent the full equalized value of all taxable property in each municipality as of April 1, 2023, while incorporating sales data primarily from 22 and 23.
Okay.
So the hard part is that the valuation numbers are built on two very high real estate years,
Yep, they are.
so.
It's only a
When-
3.8% increase. It really was 5 million last year.
Yeah.
It's not.
But I believe the number from last year that I found was 125,850. At least that's the number that I found real, when I looked at it real quick. But, so if that's true, like say it's a $5,050,000 increase. But, so, and it may be that, like I say, part of it's driven on sales for the last couple of years, so that may be why it's so high, but. I figure I'll just shoot Paul an email just to say, hey, is this correct or not, or where are we at, but,
I second that.
Yeah, no,
Or
I
make a
agree.
motion that I second that.
but just so you guys know that the letter did come in, Kathy had it in my file, so I will, I'll shoot Paul an email and just ask him to double check and make sure that is correct, and if so, we'll go from there, but looks like our town value is increasing, which undoubtedly will make our school payment go up.
Yes, it will.
And every other payment.
Yes, it will.
That it will. That's what I had for other business. Approval of the warrants. We have AP warrant number 33 for 5,455.54. Payroll warrant number 35 for 137,277.90. Number 35, 6,231.64.
Room is ready.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor of the 18 payroll warrants? Okay. Let's jump to. I don't know, we'll actually go in order for a little bit. Let's do public comment. Anybody have public comment?
Love it, that's quick.
Okay.
Nobody on?
Nope.
Right. Committee reports. Start on this end.
Yeah. Jason has someone from Michigan that has contacted him multiple times about the fire truck.
Good.
Don't know if he's willing to commit yet or not, but this guy buys them, does whatever needs to be done, and then sells them to disadvantaged areas at a low cost,
Mhm.
so at least it's something. Hopefully, that I will take it.
At this point, any lead is progress.
Exactly. Yeah, and other than that, there hasn't been anything on it that I've heard,
Okay,
so.
Yeah.
And. He was trucking along. Oh,
and how we bought the trailer,
yeah, Highway has the trailer
trailers in,
and is waiting, we're still waiting for the underwriting to be finished on the excavator paperwork.
Mhm.
So I told them to cut the check directly to Union Tractor, we will pay the bank back.
Mhm. Yep.
As we typically do.
yeah, no, that makes more sense than writing
Yeah.
us one and then having us write
Yeah,
one, they might as well just do it, and then.
Yep.
Start the process.
So that's where that's at.
Sure.
Soccer is trucking along. um. Planning board didn't meet this last week. Trying to think. We got Halloween walk coming along.
I need to reach out to Robin and ask. She
Okay.
was gonna reach out to Olaf after the last meeting.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So I honestly haven't talked to her since I sent her the message asking her to look into it, so, I will send her a message and ask her where that's at.
Okay. So we're still waiting for well, have we advertised the to request volunteers for that?
Yes,
Okay,
And I don't believe we got anybody. that-
well, wait a
nobody
minute.
that
Other
said
than-
anything, yeah.
Right,
One,
there's a couple,
two, three, four.
there's one or two posts
I
on
mean, I'll do
Facebook,
it,
but
yeah.
there was no.
Yeah.
There wasn't anything beyond.
Okay. So I got
That
six
initial
people that I know have confirmed.
And I might be
Okay.
able to get a seventh, or possibly,
Well, you're the sixth,
I know,
just saying.
I know,
Robin will be the seventh.
well,
We need
then
an
I might
eighth.
be able to get 8 and 9,
Okay,
but I have
perfect,
a
so,
specific role for those 8 and 9 if they'll. Agree, they
okay,
agreed to last year after the fact, so maybe they.
Right. It sounds like we probably can make it happen. I think if we have that many people, we could probably make it happen. It would be really helpful if the group of kids would
Yes,
be available too, because that would really help.
well,
but-
what,
right,
so. I know grandparents of one of the kids that was there. Can they come as a unchaperoned group if they're just doing it on their own? I mean, they would be part of the high school, they'd be,
I'm okay with that.
okay. Cause I will reach out and ask.
mhm.
Yep.
Mhm. Yeah, and I know, well, I mean, Olaf had some kids that was working on some
Yeah.
signs for the trail and was saying
Yeah.
that they were interested too, so I mean, it sounds like we're gonna have
Mhm.
a good showing, so.
I'm okay with trying to do it if we want to.
Fingers crossed,
Weather permitting.
and weather permitting.
So we had said that that was going to be on Friday, correct?
I honestly don't remember.
Maybe on Friday, and I believe the trunk or treat was Saturday.
Yeah, I wanna say, yeah,
Six.
the trunk or treat was definitely on the Saturday. Yeah, I wanna say it was the Friday.
Okay.
The walk was on the Friday. We didn't plan anything for the Sunday and it was the same weekend, and I know trunk or treat was definitely Saturday. so.
Yep.
There you go, process of elimination,
And we had said 6:30 or 7, and we've thrown around a couple times, so we've been turning,
I believe
okay.
yes.
for both, right?
I
It was
believe
6:30
so.
for both.
Started pretty darn dark, but that's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think.
We could even probably do it at 6. I mean, it'll be hard on a Friday for the walk to be.
To have that done and ready to roll at 6 will be hard on Friday.
Right, that's what I'm
Because
saying.
having enough volunteers
You
during the
have it
day
advertised at 6:30 on the 25th.
Yeah,
to get it,
6:30.
my concern would be setting it up on a Friday without people.
I didn't think about that.
Well, I
We're
mean.
just gonna have to do a dry run. With an idea of what we're gonna have and
Mhm.
Like I said, cause I know I'm booked all day Friday,
And
so
boogie.
I couldn't do it until at least 3.
yeah,
I can make myself available at noon that Friday.
I know I'm booked that day. And I'm classroom, no, Friday.
I would just have to come home real quick to grab the bus, but.
I'll bring him home with me.
Haven't go to the office, somebody's always there.
Or, yeah, you can get off the office. I'll figure that out, but yeah, I mean, I know decorating is gonna be an issue on
Yeah.
that Friday, but.
That will be.
And we can do-
the earliest probably, February.
But I mean, even if we
Town.
had enough volunteers, we could still pull it off.
Mhm,
Cause
mhm.
we had, I don't remember, 'cause it didn't take us a long time. to
And
do
there
it
weren't
last
that many of us last year.
No, and it didn't take, like I say, it really didn't take that long to do it.
We did
There
one
was.
last year.
Yeah, no, the year
Year
before,
four,
2 years
yeah.
ago.
the year
Yeah.
before, but I think there was only 6 of us decorating.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I would say no, but that's a thing.
No.
Yeah.
You can say,
It's a normal name.
you can try it.
We'll see.
Somebody's bored.
I don't know.
I'm thinking that's a no.
So.
All right, so we will plan on the 25th. What was our final decision? 6 or 6:30?
6:30.
Okay, 6:30 on the 25th. Will be the haunted walk. And we will do it at the Whitney Brook Trail.
Josh Stern said he's got 4 people.
Okay. We got plenty of people.
And I just let the person know, I just let Robin know that we are officially doing it on the 25th at 6:30. So,
And 26 at 6.
Yes.
and
Has someone reached out to the fire department about the light?
No, but I can do that.
that covers us
For both nights, right? We need their light
Yeah,
for both
if we could
nights.
have
Oh,
it
so,
down.
yeah, we did have it.
It was a big help.
Yeah, we did.
Right down there,
Yep.
because that way it kind of lit up the field for people to park.
Yeah.
And I think it's gonna be easier not combining the two, because last time we tried to combine the walk and the
It was a.
trunk or treat, it was a mess with vehicles and people trying to walk around,
Yeah.
and so I think we're better to do it separate. All right. So that takes care of both of those. Anything else?
I don't have anything else on it.
Christine?
Nothing here.
Okay. Committee reports are done. Other board comments or questions?
Frankly, active.
I would say it sounds like our reports are coming, so. Just wanna check in and see. Is he ready, or if we wanna do an executive session and then do the reports after, or?
I'll reach out to Jason in the morning about that.
Yeah, because Paul helped us out last time with it, so,
Yeah.
yeah, that would be good. I think it'd be a good idea, that way, feeling safer with it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I like that big flashlight.
And I wonder,
We have power at the
just,
sewer station.
No, that was, Paul brought a generator.
he used one of the fire department generators to run it.
Yeah,
Um,
brought a generator.
I wonder. For trunk or treat, do
Yeah.
you think it would help us any if we looked at having Jody and Mary bring the food truck?
Well, that's what I was thinking.
Okay. Okay, we need to have an event stop now. Let's talk events when we get done.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
I'm like,
Okay.
ooh, October trunk or treat.
well, so I was just thinking, I'm like, something to bring more people, maybe?
They'd only have an hour though.
Yeah, maybe they do different time that night, cause
Yeah.
it's a.
Or
special
even,
event.
if they wanted to bring it down to the haunted walk,
Right?
Haunted walk might make more sense.
Yeah,
we can do that.
yeah, it's good to get candy, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah, true. True.
I won't be around either, so you guys do that, you like.
Make bloody finger hot dogs.
Ooh. My wheels are spinning.
Yep, yes, let's talk events.
Mhm.
Stapler's running, so we have stuff coming. That way we can, I try and do that, we can talk about taxis, get that done.
And then pass them on.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop and over and get that. done.
Yeah, that's what I mean, let's just roll it out. Get it over with.
Anyone else want?
I'd take one if you have an extra.
I'm gonna make some. Anyone else?
You just want a copy of mine, you're gonna hit print again. Okay. Summer evenings, right? So this, minus this is a one, I mean, carry over.
Hmm. Potential,
That seems insane.
and that's what I mean, it doesn't seem right, but.
What minus what?
No, that's assets, so,
Okay.
no, is that you're to no, no, it's not.
You are
Well, that's not
wrong.
what you're thinking, no. No, that's if you include like, the real estate taxes
Okay,
and all that, everything combined, that's
Well,
not, that's not.
I'm
just
good with
the-
that. Don't know what
I
the
wish it
problem
was
is.
possible that it was that much money, but.
So tell me where it is then. Cause I am.
Not on the page.
Thank you so much.
I was gonna say, I didn't. All right.
It would be under.
So you get other sheets or, no, Trisha has them.
I think we all have the same sheets, right?
I don't know.
Probably. Alright, what are we looking at? Or what do you want us to look at, I should say?
She wanted to know the fund balance for 6:30 for the general government,
Yep,
so. You would see it right there.
but that, well, that has taxes and everything included, not just the
Yes.
expense account.
So,
I think what we were looking at is just the expense account for general government to see what was left as of 6:30.
doesn't show anything left. Right? So if you go to this page 2. Page 2.
I'm just gonna cross-reference it.
Please.
Yep.
Page 2 of the second page, which one are you?
Yeah, they're all.
Second page,
Okay, so I'm going back.
but it's,
0.
yeah. For sure, sure.
Please tell me no.
I have 16,239
So there's
for
nothing.
an unexpended balance.
No, you got that from Trio though.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, about an hour ago.
Which account number?
03,
That's fine.
yeah, Department 03. You had a 55,061 in expense, well, 242 plus credit, so we should have like 16,000-ish for carryover. Or potentially for carryover.
Tell you on that.
It's not gonna make it work.
Yeah.
It's not enough there to work. We'll have to find it somewhere else. Yeah, now,
Yeah.
if we were gonna do the book, we would have to find it somewhere else. If the 16 is correct, we'd have to do it somewhere else.
Sure, can I see?
Yeah, no. Oh, sorry, that's what you found, but yeah.
Okay. You're back.
What was that? Yeah, that's 16.
Yeah, the 16,000 is what shows being left in the expense report for,
Okay.
all of the 03 general government department. That's not enough for a block, it's like a block, though. Cause that was what, 11 or 12? So if there's adjusting entries, that's not enough,
You know,
so we're up the creek on that. Earlier,
then
we can look at potentially maybe benefit instead.
probably
When the
just
audit's
every
done.
time we push it off, like
Oh.
we've been doing where it's gonna cost us more.
Yep.
That's why I
Yeah.
don't have a number tonight, is because they were doing a revised quote, because they extended it until, wanna
Yeah.
take a guess when? Last Monday.
I guess I would say we'll see what if there's only 16,000 left, that's not enough to play with the book.
Yeah.
So do we look at doing, either community benefit fund for the book, Or do we look at waiting until we have the audit officially in front of us and then doing it?
We have that.
We can ask Trisha, or it should be in one of the,
I thought I saw it at that point, but
it should be under the fund balances, which is page.
community benefit 72,393.
Yep.
We're not hitting that for.
We can talk about it. I wouldn't, but we can talk about it. I wouldn't mess with that one for taxes, because in order to do that, we should do a special town meeting, so we gotta, at that point, we're delaying
Yep.
tax.
And
And I don't wanna delay taxes again.
Mm-mm.
so. And then we hit the mill rate after that.
I think we do the mirror right now and get it
Okay.
done.
Oh, I just.
I think we know enough at this point.
Okay.
Where is the community benefit
It's
fund?
on the next to last page, I think it was.
Yeah, at the bottom.
Yeah, fund balance, and then if you go down.
Oh, all right, I found it, yeah.
72, 392, 04, which is good, but I think.
What is that money supposed to be for?
Community benefit.
Community
It needs to
benefit.
benefit the community.
Benefit, yeah,
That's where the playground
Yep.
equipment came from,
We've offset taxes with it once,
we have
at least
offset,
once,
yes.
maybe twice. I think
Yeah.
twice, actually.
since when I was on the board, the first year I was on the board, we offset taxes.
I think we've done it twice.
Yeah.
And the one thing about it that we've always played with, we did a meeting probably 6, 7 years ago
Oh, we did
now.
the signs.
Yeah, we put post-it notes, we gave everybody, we split the room into 2 groups. We had and I can send you all the pictures, I'll have to find them, but, we had a couple different boards, different time periods in the town, what people liked, what they didn't like, what they wanted to see going forward.
Vision board.
Vision boards, people filled out sticky note, each group filled out sticky notes on what they liked,
I
what they
love
didn't
the
like,
meeting.
and what they wanted to see going forward with like benefit fund money. And we've been trying to pick off those sticky notes as we go. Some things that we have already picked off would be the playground stuff, the playground equipment. The welcome to Canton signs came out of that fund, and that was one of the big things from that meeting. Another thing that had been started, was another sticky note was talking about the school cleanup, and cleanup around that property. I can't remember the others, I'll have to look at the pictures, but we had, like I say, each of the bulletin boards and the whiteboard all had a separate purpose, and it was split out to try to help.
It's actually pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we've tried to tailor it, anything we've done out of that account, we've tried to tailor it to those
Those
things.
that came out of
Yeah,
that.
and if it's something different, then we try to do it for a special town meeting and ask the town, okay, we'd like to, like the couple times we did the tax offset. We went to the town and said, do you approve taking X amount out of the community benefit fund to offset taxes, right? So we've done that a couple times, but, yeah. So,
I heard general government and I did that other report. I was like, there it is.
So the recreation, they were $13,000.
That's what we're talking about. Is that including the ones that just came in last week?
no,
No, this is-
That's a 630 balance.
this is average. So,
Well, yeah,
yeah, so,
we gotta have a meeting
Yeah.
about that.
so 16,200, interesting.
Has RHR said anything?
The note I got back from Ron was that, he would contact me and,
Yes, okay.
yes. So, I have not heard, so, but I do need to also check my other email because being gone last week, I didn't keep very close eye on it, so I need to double check and make sure he didn't send me something. Either Thursday or Friday, and I may have missed it, so I will double check and make sure.
Why didn't we roll on so many things?
The one thing I will say, Tricia, Department 29, there's an issue there that you're gonna have to look at. It looks like the debt service for this year came out of that year again,
Yes.
so there's gonna have to be a journal entry there. I found that when I pulled the expense report this morning.
That's your number. right
That,
there.
yeah, that's why that's 91,000 in the hole, because I would say it got paid out of the incorrect year. So that'll have to be
Okay.
journal entry. And I will do some bedside reading and go through the expense report again and see what else I find, but that was the one thing I found.
Thank you. That's a big one.
Mm.
Yeah,
When I saw the number was that far, I said, oh, okay. And then as soon as I looked at it, I knew what it was. So I will look through the others and see why there is. The one thing, just for those of you who haven't seen this report before, the reason that the school number shows in the whole 1.2 million is because we don't actually put the budget number in for the school. So that, and the same for the county tax, because we don't raise those the same way, so that's
I was
why.
gonna ask those questions.
Yep, that's why those are
Thank
showing
you.
really negative numbers, because they just, that's,
Okay,
the budget number was not put in, that's why those numbers show severe negatives. But the rest of them, I can tell you there's a couple that I know are incorrect, because things got posted wrong.
buildings.
I need to look at it, I don't know. That's one of my
Yeah.
highlights that I made on the other one real quick was.
It's good to be getting to this point where it can be fine to.
Yeah. It's nice to be able to get a report that we can actually look at and
why would the,
start to dissect.
why would the boat launch be negative?
Because the electrical costs more than what we budgeted.
I was gonna say, isn't that just electricity down there?
That it is,
Okay.
and yep, and like I said, the electrical cost
Okay.
was more
Then what we
than what was
budgeted.
budgeted for.
Yeah.
That's why, and for what little, only being used like 2 times. It was, yeah,
Mhm. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And both, late days, we got pumps running all the time.
That's true.
yeah, so yeah, we gotta look at that going forward, but
That, like the picnic table doesn't come out of that, when they replace the picnic table over there.
that's
No, it's
not
just
done by us.
electricity.
That's, the picnic table was done by, I think the lake.
Lake
there the other day.
Association.
Someone privately.
Cause we,
Lake Association.
yeah, we were looking at doing it and then it was already done, so we didn't have to. It's a different deal.
Okay, let's set some mill rates here.
Yeah, all right. Thank you very much for those.
Yeah.
Yes, thank
Nice
you.
to- Nice to start seeing those so we can get back on track and get us moving forward.
And stay informed numbers wise. Thank you.
So I'm going to table book restoration until we have a new quote. And then we can revisit
Yeah.
and figure out what we're gonna do. So that takes us to new business E, setting the mill rate. Which is something that we so enjoy doing every year. So as you will see, we have a few options from Paul. At the very top of them, he's written in using X amount from undesignated fund balance. If you look down through the sheets, you'll see the sheets list a maximum rate, a minimum rate. And then also our. Where are we? The maximum and minimum overlays. So overlay is what we use for, say we have to give somebody a tax abatement.
We did tonight.
Right, like we did tonight, so that would come out of our overlay number. So that's one of those things, we don't want it to be too low, because, you know, we could potentially go over, and have to come up with the money somewhere else. But at the same time, we don't wanna be too high, because whatever we don't use out of overlay does go into our undesignated surplus account at the end, so we don't wanna tax people for more than what we really need. That being said, if we were in a place where we were not at a healthy fund balance, it would be something we could use to help improve our fund balance. But I think right now, from the number that Tricia gave us, I think we're kind of in a healthy spot looking at, just over 1 million. So I think that I'm not as concerned with our undesignated amount as I have been in the past couple times. Let's see, if we use 0 from undesignated. It will be up $2.50
Per thousand?
per 100,000.
I like the 100,000. Nice even number.
What are we now, 19.5, 19.75?
One game was an 18, I think it was 1875.
We've done to 19.
You remember?
I can look it up pretty quick. Sure, could grab the book and I can tell you exactly what it is. It's right in, it's the front page of the,
Yeah, no, the giant.
yeah.
19,504.
I just worry about pulling so much money from undesignated funds, because at some
Mhm.
point, we're not gonna have something to pull from, and then the taxpayers are gonna,
Gonna feel it.
they're gonna feel it
Right.
hard, like, hard.
Neither one of us was.
But my concern is we've taken. It's one thing to take a little bit out. Last year they took a lot out. And my concern with that is it leaves a cliff so that in order to keep our tax rate down and keep us from having a large increase, it forces us to take at least that amount, if not more, the
Mhm.
next year. And so we took, I believe, 200,000.
Yes.
200,000 out of it last year to offset taxes, which means if we don't automatically take 200K out, we're already going into an increase, which the problem is, we can only do that so many times.
Yeah.
Because if we're, for me, the budget number that we're asking the town for, we should be staying. What we ask for is what we need, you know, maybe there's a little bit extra in there to cover unexpected expenditures, but not. Asking for, okay, hey, we have 200,000 extra that we know we're gonna have for carryover next year. It's hard to keep the tax rate down and still. And try to pull out a carryover every year, because if we don't have 200,000 extra, we're gonna keep depleting our carryover number.
Mhm.
And if we need at least 3 months worth of operating capital by statute, that's say. Round that up to 700,000, just to be safe, or even 750. You know, we're talking 100 to 150 is more of a safe number. Maybe even 100 is safer than going.
I wouldn't wanna
like
go to
100.
150.
To me, I don't want the tax number to increase, the percent number to increase, but at the same time, we can't keep pulling out of undesignated in large amounts.
If we
Because
go to, if we take the 100,000 out, that takes us to 20.75, because we're currently at 19.25.
2.5, that's what it was, okay.
Yeah,
It's not.
I don't want anybody's taxes to go up,
No.
and I also don't wanna set the town and everybody that lives in the town up for failure,
Mhm.
because we keep taking large amounts out, and then the year that we can't.
Yep.
Yeah, everybody's gonna have to pay skyrocketed taxes, which a lot of people, a lot of us in town are not gonna be able to afford.
Yeah. Mhm.
So,
Oh, look at the late list this year alone.
Sure.
I mean,
I mean, it's getting, like, reality is it's getting harder and harder for everybody to pay their bills. So I don't know, I think when we figure this out, like, as we're figuring this out. I'm keeping that in mind. So,
I mean, the sad reality is that it has to go up some this year. I mean, we don't have a choice.
I mean, I'd love to pull 200,000 out and it only going up 50 cents. But.
Me too, but in a perfect world, which we don't
But
have.
we really don't have the 200, or not, we're not gonna be able to consistently
No.
have that moving forward, so.
I think, and the thing that concerns me is if the letter from on state valuation is correct. I can see that forecasting for our school budget isn't gonna be pretty either.
Well, it's
So-
gonna affect everything now, because Medicare is based off, I mean,
Medicare pays per capita though. I thought that was on number.
Yeah,
of people.
Medicare is per capita.
Yes, they are, yeah,
But.
Not saying it won't affect
Yeah.
it, but.
yeah, but you know, your county and your everything.
Right, county tax, that means
Do-
county taxes
yeah.
go up, that means the school tax is gonna go up.
Yeah.
Unless something changes in the state education calculation, which I haven't heard, but I mean, it's possible, but, it's been changed before, so.
Pigs can fly too.
You know, that is true. So yeah, we can. I don't know, that concerns me, is just what's gonna end up coming down the pike along with all the other increases that we're probably looking at.
Agreed.
Well, you just got the insurance one.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, we just also received a letter from our insurance company telling us that our health insurance was gonna be going up. And, the good news is they're not gonna require, referrals for certain things, however, the rates are going up, and what they're covering for prescriptions is going down. Or something else
Who we
too,
have
but,
again?
Huh?
Who we have again?
It's through the state, municipal. I don't remember the exact name of the company, but it runs through there.
Do we need to start shopping? I mean, we're probably not gonna get anything better than what that is, but
We could look into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can grab the letter, but that's.
Yeah.
Actually, I put it on Kathy's desk so she could look at it, but,
Main health trust.
yes, Maine Health Trust, thank you.
yes.
Yeah, yeah, that's the letter that came in, so.
I know what my suggestion is, but. Just gonna say that.
I don't like any of them.
I don't either.
I don't like any of them either.
So
I
on,
also don't like being on this side of the table, not liking any of them. Which one more?
so on. So let's take 100,000, for example, cause that, well, that's the middle of the. The middle of the range that we've been given. So if we took if we looked at 100, just so we can. Would take our selected tax rate to 20.75. Would give us an overlay of 18,800. Historically, we've had overlays anywhere from, I think our lowest that I remember was like 8 or 10,000. The highest we had one year that we went, it was either 60 or 70,000.
So that's been pretty average.
Yeah.
Close to average, like,
Yeah, so I mean, it's been. It's kind of been all over the books. But it looks like most of our options here, the highest one is like 22,000, I would say. Yeah, like the highest one would give us 22,000. And that's if we pulled 150.
Yes.
We pulled 150, it'd give us a couple thousand over there.
I'm still happier at one.
I am open to motions.
Anybody else have any thoughts?
Avoidance. That's my fault.
Our tax assessor would prefer that we not avoid again.
Right.
A little antsy.
And that's part of the reason we do need to make the decision, just because,
Yeah.
in order to give people a heads up. And enough time to get the bills out and things like that, we do have to move on it.
When will the bills go out? You make this decision tonight.
If we make the decision tonight, my guess would be, I would hope by first of the week they go out. Cause we just have to plug the stuff in. And but it shouldn't take very long to get those in and hit print and. The only thing that might take some time is stuff in the envelopes, but. But yeah, in terms of getting bills out, it shouldn't take very long. Yep,
I'm-
exactly.
Completely against hiring an outside company to do it, just saying, going on record.
They've been done in-house for years. I have the opinion that they still can be done in-house.
Exactly.
So I do not want to outsource. Personally,
We can't afford to outsource.
no, we cannot at this time.
I make a motion to take 100,000 from you undesignated fund balance.
We would set the tax rate at
20.75, an increase of 150.
I have a motion. Can I get a second? I'll second it. I have a motion and a second. For using $100,000 from undesignated fund balance. Which would give us a tax rate of 20.75. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstained?
I think it's a lesser of
Okay.
evils, I mean, what's that, Sean?
Nothing else you can do.
I know,
I
I
think,
mean, we could take more out of undesignated, but like you said, that's just gonna set us up for.
Yeah,
you know,
no.
within 5 years and.
I
that
would
be-
not have voted yes on more than $100,000 out of undesignated.
I like seeing a number more around 50, but I
Yeah.
I don't wanna see that kind of increase either, so.
Right.
I was gonna say,
It's one of those, you kinda gotta play the middle line and
Yeah.
hope that it works, but. But we shall see. Very good. Takes care of setting that,
now we'll just vomit when I get my tax bill.
I will leave that. for
You and
Kathy.
all of the rest of us.
I know, it is, it's just,
I will leave that for Kathy to hopefully get working on ASAP tomorrow and.
Yep.
Go from there. I'm sure I'm not missing anything. And so,
oh, yeah. So I think I can fill that out, cause Dave needs, you can explain what it is he needs better than I can. So,
May risk management services, safety practical.
which, okay, yeah. Do you want to hear that?
No,
He currently is using, on the tripod that he uses to go down into the confined space at the Bixby station. It's currently a rope, which obviously if he slipped, isn't gonna stop him.
mm-mm.
And Vortex, when they were here last week. Strongly suggested that that get upgraded before we get gigged on that. And so he
Yeah.
looked around, I don't know how we didn't get it, but
Yeah, say go
it
for it.
looks like. This could be used for that,
Mhm.
Yeah.
That way.
so.
So this is a grant for something like
Safety
that?
grant program, yep.
Oh, yeah, go for
Is there a deadline on this?
By close of business, April 15th,
Oh, I got plenty of time, okay, so.
can it be used to refund something that's purchased like?
Well, that's
say,
what I'm trying to
no,
figure out.
no,
That's-
no. Items must be purchased by May 1 of the following year. So it sounds like it would be approved, it would be due by the 15th, wait for the award and then pay after, and then buy
I was
after
gonna say,
approval.
Yeah, items must be purchased by, not after.
Maybe.
for the following.
Items cannot be purchased until you are notified a grant has been awarded.
Yes. I'll talk to him and see if he's,
I was just trying to think if we could buy it and then just reimburse
Yeah.
ourselves after the grant was awarded, but. But, hey, we can fill it out and see what we get, worth a try. Just for the heck of it at the same,
What?
we're doing for that. I didn't know if there was anything else we needed for like highway
look
or
like this
anything like that.
before.
Yeah, exactly.
Another one available for public works, like cameras and lights and stuff like that.
Mhm.
For the trucks.
Yep. Interesting.
Apply from every year.
Yep. Yeah,
All right, I will,
okay,
take this out.
we are now. Double check, we are done the agenda. So, take a 5-minute break for questions and then, can I get a motion to take a break and then go into executive session?
I'll make a motion to take a 5-minute break before we go into executive session.
For what?
Per, sorry.
One
For
after
one MRSA subsection 4056C.
All right, sounds good. I have a motion and a second, all those in favor? All right, so let's take a 5-minute break. Any questions? And then we will roll into executive session here shortly.
Can I ask you some questions?
Sure,
So.
we'll try to answer.